Hello everyone and welcome to SUGTalks. I'm Craig Dale, your host, and together with our special texts, we'll take a deep dive into the topics, challenges and opportunities facing SAP users today. Please make sure you do subscribe so you never miss any of our future episodes. I'm delighted today to be joined by Stefan Steinle, Executive Vice President, Head of Global Customer Support at SAP. So welcome, Stefan.
Hey, thanks for having me.
No, more than welcome, because in today's episode, we're going to be taking a bit of a deep dive into SAP's Global Customer Support Program. And just before we get into that, Stefan, I'd just like to ask you, what's the best customer experience you've ever received?
That's an interesting question. Thanks for that. Well, I think, let's take a look at private life, actually. I once bought an item for my car online for pickup at a physical store. And actually, everything went wrong that could go wrong. They delivered, or they asked me to pick up the wrong item. So it was just not fitting to my car. I had to drive there, and then I was upset that it was the wrong one. And I only realized it at home, of course, after unpacking and so on. So the usual thing, right? So then you are sitting at home and you're not happy with that experience. Then what I did is I approached their customer support and said, hey, that is what went wrong, and how do we fix that now, and whatsoever. And actually, their reaction was perfect, because they said, hey, look, first of all, we have that item for you, so we can ship it to you. It will take a few days longer. Is that fine for you? So it was a chat experience as well. So really online, I could decide. And then immediately also, because that item which they gave to me was little bit cheaper. So within a few minutes, I had the difference back on my bank account. So that was also very, very fast. And then everything actually went perfectly. And that was actually, how you can turn around a customer interaction that has maybe started off not in a very, very perfect way. You can really turn it around with the help of customer support. That was for me a good example. Now, of course, heading customer support at SAP, that is actually the ambition, right? When something really goes wrong, that you are able to turn the perception and the experience around entirely. That was a good one.
That is fantastic, because for me, it's not often, how it looks when everything goes right, but it's how we react when things goes wrong, and how we handle that, and how we deal with that, and how we solve that. That's fantastic. Yeah. Very, very good. Excellent. Mine, the first thing that came to my mind was probably around about, I think, 11 years ago now, when I first flew with Emirates Airline in economy. And I flew to Dubai with them from airport close to me, and honest to God, I was blown away by the service. I'd never had service like it on any flight I'd taken beforehand, and it was economy, but the service was absolutely exceptional back then. Mm-hmm. But anyway, moving swiftly on, Stefan. To begin with, I just wondered if you could give us a quick overview, please, of your role at SAP, also a little introduction to yourself, and what global customer support delivers for customers.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Yeah, so I've started at SAP 26 years ago in the year 2000. I've had many, many different roles over those 26 years. Since about 3 years, I have been heading our global customer support organization, as you have introduced it earlier. Actually what we do is we ensure that our customers run their SAP environments as smoothly as possible. That is actually what we do in terms of operational efficiency, continuous operations of their systems. So we aim to make sure that they have a smooth experience with SAP overall. That is the target. Of course, going a little bit deeper, we do 7x24 mission critical support, responding to issues which our customers report to us, offering self-service capabilities to our customers, moving into preventive support offerings as well. And we also offer like tools and capabilities for our customers actually to run their SAP-based transformations in a smooth way. That is, in a nutshell, the understanding of customer support, how we at SAP understand it actually. Yeah.
Oh, wow. So you joined, was it just after the whole Y2K kind of flurry, or was it still in the midst of that?
No, yeah, exactly. That was just over. So I started writing my diploma thesis at SAP in February 2000.
Oh, wow.
But my first real job at SAP as a consultant in the automotive space was then in September. That was where the Y2K stuff was settled. I actually had, as a student, I had a flight back from Miami to Paris. And that was because as a student, you don't have so much money, right? So I picked the cheapest flight, which was available in that time frame between end of December and early January. And that flight was really in the morning time of 1st of January 2000. So I took the risk and I managed to arrive in Paris after a good flight. Everything was smooth. So Y2K was an interesting one for me.
Oh, fantastic. So, you know, that 26 years of experience you've had with SAP. So from your perspective, how has SAP's customer support evolved during that time?
Yeah. Well, look, in 2000, we have roughly a little bit before we have started establishing actually around the world global support organizations. That was the time when we, I would say, professionalized support in that sense. As a consultant, I could very much benefit then in the subsequent years from some of the more proactive support offerings that we have started establishing in the early 2000s, also with tools like the famous SAP Solution Manager, which we have introduced, I think, in 2001, if I recall correctly, with which we took a step towards saying, hey, we want to help our customers more proactively in their SAP-based transformation and implementation and migration projects and so on, with the help of a tool which is free of charge as part of their maintenance fees. That was in the early 2000s. We have then introduced SAP Max Attention, which was really then like a differentiation of the different support offerings that we've had. Also a big step for us, which is still valid today, and with the evolution of the SAP success plans that we have just introduced a couple of weeks back. We have gone now the next stage, 25 years later, actually. We started in the 2010s, I would say, introducing things like real-time support and the more proactive support offerings in terms of offering more self-service capabilities to customers. So as a customer, you can benefit from the vast knowledge that we have across our support teams and organizations. I think these were very critical enhancements of SAP's customer support as well. And of course, recently, in the past couple of years, we have also started benefiting from AI capabilities and, of course, from the massive amount of data that we have available as part of customer support. So already in 2017, 2018, we started establishing our service and support data lake. And on top of that, we started building the first machine learning scenarios back then, which have, of course, meanwhile evolved to agentic AI and LLM usage and all those kinds of capabilities. Yeah, but that has been a little bit, I would say, the evolution of SAP's customer support since I've started 26 years ago. So really moving from reactive support towards professionalizing, globalizing support, towards becoming more differentiated, more personalized, more global, and then also, of course, more innovative as well in terms of the offerings that we have for our customers.
Oh, fantastic! And one thing I heard you speaking about previously is invisible support. Mm-hmm. What does that actually mean in practice?
Yeah, invisible support is a term which I have introduced like 1 or 2 years ago, where I said, hey, we are doing a lot of things for our customers in the background, which our customers don't really see directly, but from which they benefit big time. And many of the areas in what we call preventive support are actually a part of that. So what we do, for example, is when a customer has a go live or a critical milestone ahead, we capture that critical milestone for our customers, and then we take into account all kinds of data points and signals that we see in order to make sure that the customer can really meet this critical milestone, like a go live, for example. So a practical example is usually when the critical testing phase of the customer happens. You know that also, Craig, from many customer conversations that you were certainly having with your members, right? Also from your own experience, usually the number of tickets goes up. And then, of course, it takes a little bit a while until they are all resolved. And then the question is, will we still manage to process those tickets in time so that we can meet the next milestone and so on? So those are signals that we grab and where we then predict whether a certain milestone can be successfully met, or whether we have to take proactive countermeasures actually with the help of our support teams. And those are things that we are doing in the background for our customers, right? And that is why I call this invisible support, because it's not something which is directly visible. Like I send a ticket to SAP and then someone processes it and I get a solution. That is the usual reactive support. But this more invisible part is something we want to also showcase a bit more and make it more transparent. And that is why we picked actually this term to describe what we are doing in the background for our customers to make them successful.
Thank you. And on that point, I can imagine this is not all down to SAP. The customer also needs to be transparent with you on, what's happening, what the milestones are, what their future plans are, so you can prep. And, that relationship is key to making that work.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that is critical, that we have a close partnership and collaboration with our customers, but also, of course, with their implementation or operations, application management partners, so that we are aware of those critical milestones, project plans. When there are, for example, critical launch activities in your commerce cloud system, we want to know that upfront, because we want to be prepared for that. We want your systems to be prepared for that, right? So the more information we have about the transformation journeys of our customers, about the business of our customers, the better we can do those preventive, like invisible support offerings for them.
Thanks. And, you mentioned there the invisible element is that you're in the background seamlessly, supporting customers. So what key, from a customer perspective, to drive me to ensure that I'm keeping SAP and I'm abreast of where I am, I'm being open, I'm being transparent. What key impacts does that have on the customer day to day?
I think what we actually see is that the more we are able to prevent those issues, I think in terms of the outcomes for our customers, the better they are able to meet actually their milestones, the more they prevent also like the reactive support scenarios, like that they have to send tickets to us and so on. So we are really seeing that the success rate of go lives is higher when we have that great collaboration in place with our customers. The hypercare phases after a go live can be certainly shortened. There are less like issues upcoming after a go live and so on. So I think it's actually providing a smoother experience to our customers along their journey. We have a good example, like every year there is this famous holiday peak season, when there is Black Friday and Cyber Monday and so on. And of course, a lot of retailers, they have then discounts and so on. And then, of course, at some point in time, the system load on, for example, a commerce cloud system is very, very high. And we are very, very proud that with the help of this invisible support stuff that we are doing, actually we have, in the last 2-3 years, we have always achieved 100% uptime for our customers. Whereas some of our competitors have had their challenges and have had some some outages and some degradations as well for their customers. So that is certainly something we are proud of, and it's also a visible proof point that this is the right strategy to have and the right approach to have in customer support as well.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Oh, thank you for that. And moving on to another statement now, perhaps, which is empowered support. So what's that all about? What does that look like for customers and partners?
Yeah, empowered support is another element of SAP's customer support strategy, where it is about ensuring that our customers have actually everything they need along their SAP journey at their fingertips. Possibly, or if possible, really available instantly without any wait times. We create a lot of knowledge day in and day out. We learn from interactions with our customers. Our support engineers always have the task, hey, how can other customers now benefit from that support interaction which I just had with one customer? Mm-hmm. Should I now write a knowledge base article? Should we update our documentation? Should we issue an SAP note about this issue? Always having in mind that other customers should benefit from that support interaction, which I have just closed as a SAP support engineer. And actually, that enables what we call empowered support. That means when then the next customer has maybe a similar question, a similar issue, that they find a solution instantly. For example, when they use the knowledge search or when they want to create a ticket, but then we display already an existing solution to them. And of course, that provides a better experience to the customers because they don't have to wait until someone responds maybe to a query or a question which they're having, but they have everything at their fingertips. That is one of the important elements, actually, of what we call empowered support at SAP. I think also a good example of how we use artificial intelligence in customer support. We haven't spoken, also invisible support is driven a lot, of course, by AI agents, as you can imagine, but also for empowered support, like matching, what does the customer want? What do they just describe as a question or as an issue? And then matching it with existing solutions which are available to our customers. This is where AI capabilities can help a lot and also do help a lot. We have, I think, support is a number-driven business, I would say. So looking at one of the numbers for our customers in terms of impact, in more than 80% of cases when our customers have an issue and want to report it to SAP, in more than 80% of cases, they find an instant solution. So they don't have to send a ticket to us. They don't have to wait until someone responds. So in more than 4 out of 5 cases, we can already deliver what we call empowered support to our customers. And as I said, that provides a good experience to them. AI is also not only helping with the matching of issues with potential solutions, it also helps our support engineers internally at SAP. With the help of AI capabilities, those creations of knowledge base articles, of notes or updates of our documentation and those kinds of things have been accelerated by 45%. So we have actually 45% less efforts for our support engineers in order to perform these tasks. And then, of course, they can focus more on the mission critical things for our customers, understanding their business processes, the problems which they are addressing, and helping our customers more with their human expertise. Yeah, so I think also empowered support is another exciting example of how our support engineers and AI agents actually collaborate to provide a good experience to our customers.
Thank you. And while we're on the subject of AI, which is obviously a huge topic right now,
absolutely.
How is AI specifically helping SAP customers, perhaps with migration and support?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that is another big topic when it comes to migrating, for example, from an ECC system to S/4HANA or from an on-premise system to SAP's cloud products. There are a lot of steps which our customers are taking when they perform those migration or transition or transformation projects, like in the data space, like data validations, data quality, field mapping, data migration tasks itself, then you have a lot of effort usually as a customer on the testing side, like, creating test data, identifying and creating test cases, then the execution of the testing as well, and the evaluation of testing, so test automation activities as well. And then, of course, it's also about things like custom code. A lot of customers take the chance when they move from an old system maybe to a modern SAP cloud system or so. A lot of customers take the chance, to remove their modifications from the system, to move their custom code towards what we call the clean core principles and so on. And then the tasks which are at hand for our customers are about understanding the custom code that you have, converting it from a coding perspective to a clean core architecture and so on, establishing the integrations also in a clean and structured way. All of those things and all of those steps can be simplified, accelerated, and can be just also made smoother with the help of AI capabilities. So we are currently working on a lot of AI agents in that regard, helping our customers, ensuring that all of those migration and transformation and transition projects, that they actually are smoother, faster, and also at the end of the day cheaper for our customers. Our customers spend much more money usually for the implementation and migration projects than what they spend for the software itself. But the software itself, we believe, is the stuff that is value adding, that is innovative, right? So we want to actually reduce the money which our customers spend for those migration projects so that they can benefit more from the innovations which are part of the software capabilities. And as I said, AI can do a lot, and we have a full roadmap of offerings here, and some stuff, of course, already available in that space. Yeah, so you can see AI plays a very, very critical role, of course, in everything we do in customer support since years already.
Yeah, I can imagine, and thanks for sharing that. So if we look at kind of traditional support models, what are perhaps the biggest bottlenecks in that? You've already mentioned things like certain times of the year, certain days, Cyber Monday, Black Friday, etc. So what are the biggest bottlenecks, and perhaps how are you addressing them?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think, look, the traditional way of support is exactly like, okay, customer reports an issue, SAP support engineers or experts from development or cloud operations teams solve the issue, and then this support interaction is actually done. Now, this is something which we do, and of course, we will continue to do, and we do that. And also here we are actually innovating a lot with the help of AI capabilities as well, that partially solve those issues already automatically, and this will be enhanced also going forward. But this falls short, from my point of view, on two things. First of all, when you just solve one issue after the other, and then, you solve it, and then you move to the next issue of the next customer and so on, you don't recognize those patterns that can help you understanding the bigger picture, and that can help you understanding the situation of the customer and managing the customer more holistically, supporting the customer more holistically. The examples which we've mentioned earlier around how do we support our customers in, when it comes to critical milestones is one of them. But it's also about identifying patterns where maybe our product capabilities, the usability of the product is not good enough. If you just solve one usability issue after the other, you won't recognize that, hey, maybe there are 5, 10, 15 customers who have reported similar issues around a certain UI capability. Maybe we should identify this as a pattern, go back to our development teams and actually work with our development teams to improve the product. So that is the one side of customer support, which requires more than just working on a transactional basis, one after the other. And I think the second problem, where also the traditional support models, as you have rightfully called it, fall a little bit short, is what I would call value generation for the customers as well, providing really value for the customers. If I just work on one issue after the other, then I don't recognize maybe that customer has a challenge with a database, and maybe for that particular customer, switching the database version to a newer version, or maybe switching the database at all, or maybe moving their system to the newest release. Maybe they would benefit from that. If I just work one transaction after the other, I would not recognize and realize that. So also here, it's about recognizing patterns, understanding them, and then providing more value also to our customers. So those are actually the two different directions we are taking from the traditional transactional way of working in support. First of all, working into how can we improve our products? How can we identify those patterns into that direction? How can we then also use that to be more preventive? And secondly, how can we work then more closely with our customers, providing more value to them, making sure that they achieve better adoption of our products and innovations and those kinds of things, so they can, benefit more from the software that we provide to them. That is actually the two directions we are taking.
Thank you.
We know our community, but we don't know yours yet. Why not share the benefits of your UKI Sub membership with those who don't know about us? The UKI Sub referral scheme rewards you for helping to grow and develop our community. You can check out the link in the description to find out more about how you can get involved. Terms and conditions apply. We hope you enjoy the rest of the podcast.
And, we've talked about invisible support, we've talked about empowered support, and now I'd like to talk about accelerated support, which I understand is another key focus for SAP. Can you give our listeners an overview of what that is and what it covers, please?
Yeah, accelerated support is actually a very exciting topic for more than 4,000 support engineers we have at SAP, and also a lot of thousands of colleagues from our development and cloud operations teams, which are also working on support cases, on resolving issues for our customers. And it addresses more the traditional field of support, where our customers report issues to us. And also here, actually, the target is, of course, as you can imagine, we don't want to play ping pong with our customers, because that is what we are hearing from our customers still here and there. Hey, I'm sending a ticket to SAP, and then there are a lot of back and forth questions. And then, it takes a lot of time until we have found the right expert that can really help us solving the problem, and so on. And of course, we want to avoid that. And we have established an entire agentic AI framework at SAP. We call this agentic case resolution, which actually covers and addresses those challenges of the traditional support experience for our customers. So while our customers are actually reporting issues to us, we have already agents talking with the customers. Hey, dear customer, you're reporting a HANA issue, but in order for our experts to analyze it, we would need the following additional information which you haven't provided in your issue description. Can you please add that, for example? But we also help our support engineers with the agentic case resolution capabilities. For example, there are agents running analyzing log files for the support engineers. This is something which we don't have to do manually anymore. That is something which agents can do. Of course, certain preconditions need to be met for sure. So certain tasks which previously the support engineers had to do manually, we are already automating, and AI agents can do that, and AI agents can also speak with each other and then provide recommendations, next best actions also to our support engineers. And as said, there is a whole agentic framework which we have established at SAP, and we have summarized that under this umbrella of accelerated support, because actually the target is to provide faster and higher quality solutions towards the issues which our customers actually report to us. This touches actually one topic, Craig, we haven't talked about yet so much in the conversation so far. Is about the people side of the support business. A very important one, because support is actually a people business. And I get a lot of questions like, hey, do you replace people with AI and so on? And at SAP, we have not taken that approach, because we believe that our people need to be there for our customers in those most critical situations, right? I think our customers give their most critical business processes into our hands. And that is why we see that as an obligation to have the best experts available for our customers when they are really in need, like when a month-end close is not working, when a critical go live is endangered, when there are performance issues for a certain peak season or so. We want our best experts to be available for our customers. And of course, we want to free them up from the repetitive manual work, which also AI agents can do. And actually that is like, where also the AI agents and our support engineers at SAP really work hand in hand to serve our customers in the best possible way. But the people side of that is an extremely critical one, specifically in this, a complex and critical business which SAP is running with our customers jointly.
Thank you. So really looking at that, I can see that plan. The use of the agents gets better information from the customer, so that when the actual engineer gets involved, they've got all the information in front of them that can resolve or at least answer the customer problem quicker, and then they're utilising their time better than the admin work of getting the further information, etc., which therefore, as you called it, is accelerating support.
That's a great summary. Thanks a lot. Very good.
I'm glad I understood it then.
Absolutely.
Do you have any kind of real-life examples where accelerated support has made a difference to an SAP customer?
Yeah, I think when you look at, so when we have introduced the newest version of this agentic case resolution framework a couple of months ago, we have seen that up to 5% of the customer cases already get responded to automatically. And there is an interaction happening with the customer already without any human support intervention. And of course, the benefit for the customer is, no waiting times, right? And we are also seeing that the customers report a much better customer experience for those kinds of cases. In general, with the help of that framework, which I have explained under that umbrella of accelerated support, we have been able to improve the customer satisfaction, which we measure, when we ask for feedback from the customers after they have closed a ticket. The customer satisfaction over the past 3 years has improved by 6 percentage points. So in average, 2% better customer experience every year. And this is not a number which I invent and take and extrapolate. This is really based on approximately 300,000 direct feedbacks which we get from our customers every year. So this is statistically proven that we have been able, with the help of those capabilities, and of course the great work of our engineers at SAP, that we have been really able to improve the customer experience and the customer satisfaction. It's good for our customers, good for SAP. Happier customers, hopefully, buy more of our software, are more likely to renew their cloud contracts with us, and also more likely to benefit from the innovations that we deliver to them. So that's actually where both sides actually benefit from that.
Fantastic. That's good news. That kind of, like you say, that 2 percentage points annually, whatever, it just shows what you're doing is taking it in the right direction. And on that point, what are your top priorities for global customer support in 2026?
Yeah, I think it is actually enhancing, so building on the capabilities which we have explained and enhancing them to even, provide a better experience for our customers. So it is really about ensuring that our customers have fewer issues and get faster resolutions from SAP. It is also about, providing in general a smoother and more what we call effortless experience to our customers. For example, with things like our preventive support offerings. Another top priority which we have is around a more harmonized and more unified overall experience which we want to provide to our customers. This is maybe one element which I can explain in more detail because I haven't touched upon that. And Craig, you are also hearing that, of course, from your members when you speak with them. Sometimes when I speak with our customers, they say, hey, dear SAP, I know you are now heading support, Stefan. Then there are other teams that are heading cloud delivery, cloud operations. Then we have the development teams. We have the more customer engagement roles that we have, like, account executives and delivery managers, project managers, and TQMs and stuff like that. And sometimes it doesn't feel like one SAP for our customers. And one of our priorities is to make it feel one SAP. We don't want our customers to know that there are different departments at SAP, which naturally exist, but we don't want our customers to feel that. So providing one harmonized, unified experience is one of our priorities. And maybe a last one is also a topic we have touched upon already. It's really about providing faster, smoother, cheaper SAP migration capabilities to our customers so that they have less effort when they do those migrations based on SAP. I think those are the four I would mention. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. And how, if we're getting to the end of the year, from your perspective, what does success look like when it comes to support?
Yeah. Well, I think it's all about outcomes for our customers, right? Having a higher customer satisfaction is certainly what success looks like for us. Having customers that have proven that they can transition to SAP's cloud faster and cheaper. This is absolutely something where we believe what we believe is a very, very important success measure for our customers, and actually ensuring permanent business continuity for our customers is another one. Like having high uptimes not only of the systems and of the technical services, but really making sure that our customers run their end-to-end processes based on SAP in an undisrupted and in a smooth way. I think those are the outcome-based metrics that we are looking at and that we are trying to capture and measure and trying to improve the whole day. Yeah.
Well, thank you. And kind of more widely, perhaps, how does your organization, the Global Customer Support Organization, view kind of organizations like us, like user groups? Mm-hmm. Where do you see their value?
Yeah, I've engaged for the first time with our user groups probably more than 15 years ago. Not so much in my times as an SAP consultant, but when I joined our previous head of customer support at SAP, and he had many, many different other roles as well, Gerhard Oswald, who has been an executive board member at SAP for many, many years and who is now serving as a supervisory board member. He taught me actually how important the engagements with the user groups are, because when I speak with you, when I speak with your members, when we engage in joint events, working groups, and whatsoever, I hear actually everything in terms of feedback from the user groups, but it also gives me an opportunity, to share information in a much better, in a much more scalable way. And I have since then, since 15, 16 years, in many, many different roles at SAP, I've benefited a lot from the collaboration with the user groups, because you get very, very high quality feedback as well, and you have high quality interactions. Now, in the context of global customer support, one of the things, and we also realized it when we spoke a couple of years ago, when I, after I joined into that role as the head of customer support, we believe, and I think also our customers say that we are doing a couple of great things in customer support, and we've spoken about some of them already in the conversation here. But not many of our customers are really aware and know all of those things. So how can our customers benefit from all of those great things we are doing? How do they know, hey, there are real-time channels available? I don't always have to send a ticket to SAP. There are maybe faster, smarter ways to engage with SAP's customer support. How do I know that I can benefit from the self-service capabilities? How do I know that I can use SAP Cloud ALM in order to smoothen and simplify, my transformation and migration projects and so on? All of those are things where when we speak with the user groups and engage more actively with the user groups, we can benefit from that because we can educate like not one customer at a time, but many customers at a time and get valuable feedback. So for me, this is a very, very critical interaction and a very, very critical touch point. And I can only encourage everyone also in our customer base and in our partner base to engage with the user groups actively. Become members, engage actively, so that we can jointly benefit from those interactions.
Thank you. And so, if we look towards the future now, what one point, where do you see, I suppose, the biggest opportunity for collaboration between SAP and the user communities? And I suppose, where can we help you more to help the customers more?
Yeah, I think we are often seeing similar patterns for customers that usually don't connect. Like, for example, a lot of customers have now that challenge, which we don't perceive as a challenge, but really as an opportunity to move, for example, from ECC, which will run out of mainstream maintenance in a little bit more than a year from now, towards S/4HANA Cloud. They are having the same questions which they are asking themselves. What is the migration path I should take? Should I do a technical migration? Should I do a greenfield implementation? Should I maybe do a system split and carve out things like more of what we call bluefield migration and those kinds of things? And then what are the best practices along that journey? A lot of customers ask themselves the same questions. And fostering that exchange between customers on those critical questions which they are facing, like also from the user group side, issuing white papers, best practices, bringing together the communities like the customers, the implementation partners, the right experts from SAP. That is, I think, where I see a significant opportunity and a significant contribution also from the user groups. And there is a lot we are doing already in that aspect. There are certainly things we can do more, specifically along those topics which a lot of customers are currently busy with. I mean, look at AI and retrieving the value out of artificial intelligence. This is maybe another example. In almost all customer conversations I am having, we are talking about how can I benefit from AI capabilities, either from SAP or from other providers. That is what a lot of organizations are asking themselves, because it is not just like in private life, you and me, using AI capabilities to generate emails, to search for something and, get great answers. But applying AI enterprise grade and in an enterprise-ready scale with all of the capabilities that it needs, scalability, flexibility, also data protection, security elements, all of those. I mean, these are common questions which a lot of SAP customers are having these days. And why not, leveraging more the user groups in order to share those learnings, those questions, the solutions to those questions and the answers, and also the best practices. I think those are some examples where I think we can benefit a lot from engaging more with the user groups.
Thank you, Stefan. Appreciate that. And if we were having this conversation in 2 years' time, how would you like to have seen SAP's support function evolve?
Yeah, I think, look, in 2 years from now, what I foresee is that this human and AI collaboration, I think we will have brought it to the next level by then. What do I mean by that? I think there will be permanently agents running in order to prevent issues, in order to solve issues instantly, in order to take certain steps in the analysis process for our customers. And there will be permanently this interaction with our support engineers, but also directly with customers, with partners, around actually that one target of providing an absolutely smooth experience with SAP. And I think we will move also more to business outcomes here, not like solving a ticket. That is a metric today we are looking at. I think I want outcome-based metrics to look at, how do our customers benefit from our innovations, from SAP's innovations, because we in support have helped them adopting the innovations faster and smoother. That closing the books is a non-event and is actually something which is happening without any disruptions. Supply chain, when something is happening, that we have self-healing capabilities in order to solve those issues. I think those are the things which we are foreseeing, and it will be a totally new way of working for us in customer support with a AI and human partnership, that we are in the process of establishing. But we will more and more also involve directly our customers into that loop as well. That is actually the journey that we are having, and that is certainly what we will be seeing in 2 years from now when we are having a follow-up conversation on that one. Maybe the next podcast we are doing here together.
Exciting times. And as we come to a close now, Stefan, is there anything perhaps we haven't covered or any words you would like to leave our listeners with?
Yeah, I think, look, we are talking a lot about innovations. We are talking a lot about how we use AI, and I've touched upon many of those topics, many of those elements. I think the one thing which is very, very important and which I want all our customers to know, we are very much aware that, our customers are putting their most business critical processes, data, and so on into our hands. And with all the technology that we are having that will help, providing a smoother experience to our customers, that is all fine. We will always have the best experts in the entire industry available as part of our customer support organization and our customer support processes at SAP to be there for our customers when they need us the most. So that is actually a promise. And that is actually also what we see as an obligation for us. And that is what I really, really want everyone to know, that with all the great technologies that we have, all fine, but it's really about, the people with their expertise, with their passion for our customers, that will make the difference for SAP's customer support and, of course, for our customers themselves then.
Stefan, thank you. Thank you so much for your time and your insights. I really do appreciate you joining us today.
Thanks, Greg, for having me. Great conversation. Thank you so much.
More than welcome. And to our listeners, thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed the conversation and found it valuable. Please make sure you do subscribe so you don't miss any of our future episodes. And until the next time, stay safe, stay well, and smile, and the world smiles with you.